Hello, welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am here 365 days of the year, and some of you are as well, which is amazing. To take 12 of your political questions, just political. I don't do personal readings, and I take the questions out of the chat. Just put your questions in all caps, but it is first come first serve, and I have my 12 questions for today. So. Yeah, I've got the links to the live streams are on the community page, Twitter, and the Facebook page for Black and Orange, so that you can easily find the day's live stream. Because YouTube is useless. It won't be great if you go to a page, anybody's page, for their channel and say like upcoming live streams. But it doesn't do that. So I've got those links available for you. Just go to the community tab on the channel page. So anyway, if you're watching this on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. I've got all the questions there, and I timestamp them as I go. Or if you're just here with me live, hi. I'll be timestamping. You can just follow along. So there's that too. Questions again are first come, first serve. If I don't read on your question, it is never anything personal. Also, 10% of income that comes into the actual channel that reaches me, 10% goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. And you'll have to excuse me. I know it annoys some people when I mess with my hair too much, but I was in such a rush this morning to get everything set up, and here my hair's still wet. So as it dries, it's going to shift and stuff. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. Poor Boo Boo, he was walking across the desk and he was stepping over my piles of nail containers and the clipboard and the whole thing. He stepped somewhere, the thing toppled, and at first I was afraid he'd hurt his paw when he landed, but he seems fine. When he first, I think it smarted a little bit, but he's walking around no problem now, but I had to check on him. So Lynn is saying, please show your nails. Sarah has your hair, but can't see the nails. Okay. They're hearts. So those are today's nails. So there's that. Okay. Steve says, I got notification that Linda G's Twitter was suspended. Thank you, Lynn. That's somebody must have been, a troll must have been complaining about her, is all I can guess. That's ridiculous. Well, thank you, P. Smith. Okay. Tricky. All right. Well, I have got I've got cards here. Sorry, I thought I had lipstick on my teeth. Joanne says your hair is gorgeous. Thank you. I don't care if you touch it. I wish I could flick my hair over my shoulder, but I have a pixie cut. But I bet your pixie cut's adorable. So, yeah, I saved up. One of the best things I ever bought. I saved up to buy a robot vacuum. Shark IQ. It's nowhere near as expensive as a Roomba. But I had to save up because I wanted one that had the docking with it would empty itself out, and you could just empty it out you could empty out like once a week. But with 2 cats and hair this long, oh my gosh, it has made such a wonderful difference. So, long hair is not all sweetness and light, but anyway. Apple says my account was suspended for 6 months. They said I was impersonating someone, and I wasn't. Mel Dom Linda posted that to her community page. Oh, that stinks. That stinks. Linda will be okay. I wouldn't. And anybody who wants to mess with Linda is as sensitive as a brick, let me tell you. That woman has a spiritual entourage like nothing I have ever seen around anybody. It's just this big, and anywhere she energetically goes, this whole group goes with her, and it's like, okay. Anyone who wants to mess with Linda, you must have no idea. You must have no idea how this works, because I wouldn't do it. But she's awesome. She's seriously awesome. Maria says, great costume yesterday. Your nails are fabulous today. Thank you. I was very excited. Steve says, I did send mom's pic. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Oh, and Labrat was asking, I'm shuffling. Labrat was asking for the link to the really narrow ladder, but good metal ladder that I have here. I use it. I just keep it between my bookshelves, and I just pull it out when I want to reach the stuff on the top. And she'd been asking for the link. I put it in the link for the day with when I was showing the books with the Gothic houses, but I've put it in the description link today and for the next few days as well. So anyone who wanted that link to the ladder, it is in the description box. Okay. All right. We are actually, before I start reading on that, I did want to mention it is a new month. Yes, it is. It is November. So let's just very quickly, it's 7 minutes in, let's just have the quickest look at November. I just have to refresh this page and just make a note of this at 7:30. November. Okay, so for the month of November. Oh, good, Labrat, you're here and you see it. Okay, good. I'm sorry it takes me long. It takes me so long sometimes to get to your comments and your requests and things, and I feel so bad about it. But I'm slow, but I tend to get there. Okay, there's just the days are just packed. Anyway, okay. In November, actually, I should make this 8. In November, tomorrow's election day in the U.S., which I think we all know because we've been watching Virginia very closely and New Jersey, although that race isn't quite as tight. So tomorrow is election day. All right. Thursday the 4th, just in a few days, is going to be the new moon in Scorpio. Pretty much on top of my sun, actually. It's going to be at like 12, almost 13 degrees of Scorpio. So if you want to start something new, if you want your hair to grow quickly, the time to cut it will be Thursday. That's and somehow it's not an old wives' tale. They've actually done some kind of studies on stuff like this. You plant something at the new moon, you cut hair, you do all this stuff, and then it waxes with the moon. I don't understand it, but if you are if you're needing a haircut, go for Thursday. If you want longer, you want to grow quickly. If you want your hair to not grow as quickly, it's like, look, I've got this perfect do, and I don't want to, I want to get it redone, but I don't want it disappearing quickly. Get your hair cut at a full moon. Okay, so Thursday. I am actually going to be with Johnny on Tara's Apprentice twice this month, on 2 Fridays. This Friday, the 5th, and on the 19th as well, which will be very interesting because we know how important the 19th is going to be. But it's not for readings. It's just talking about general topics. And So on Friday, I'll be on with Johnny on Tarot's Apprentice. I'm sure there'll be other people there too. And we're going to be discussing tarot and divination. No readings, just talking about it. And then on the 19th, I'll be back on his channel. We're having a discussion about toxic people. So there's that. All right, so this Friday, Mercury and Venus move into Capricorn and Scorpio, but they zip around with the sun, so it's pretty normal. This Saturday, today's Monday, this Saturday, having people, other readers come in. We're doing a theme 50 years from now, 2071. What is the world going to be like? We're doing that because it is my 50th birthday. So we're looking 50 years into the future. Yeah. So various people have said they'll be here. I don't really like announcing the people ahead of time because I've found too often that things crop up, but various people will be here. Or oh, thank you, lucky girl. Yeah, that'll be Saturday. And the narrow step ladder, it folds to be very slim, and it's actually, the top step is actually quite high, so relatively speaking, so it's quite good. And it's got the where the top comes down to where you can like pick it up for the top U, like an upside down U shape. It's actually in the perfect spot. If you're standing on the top step, you can balance, you can rest your shins against the top of it. It's a great ladder. Highly recommend it. Anyway, Don Gubb says, I need a link to Autumn's dad so I can get all my tools black. I'll be sure to tell him. And all right, so that's Saturday. Daylight savings time is ending on Sunday. Thank heavens. Veterans Day is on November 11th. World Kindness Day is on the 13th. So that will be lovely. We'll have to do something to just push the kindness. Oh, thank you, lucky girl. All right, so just a couple more things. The 19th. 2 weeks from Friday is November 19th. There will be a full moon in Taurus, which will also be a partial lunar eclipse. It's also the day I'm going to be over at Tarot's Apprentice talking to Johnny about toxic people, which is just really appropriate because that's the day that that Jupiter stops protecting Donald Trump's chart. It's been protecting him with a very positive angle to I think his son, or I can't remember what exactly. I'd have to go look at it. I don't even try to keep all this stuff in my head. But it's been moving, it moves along, and it's moving out of that aspect. And by the 19th, on the 19th, even an orb, even maybe possibly just gone. And then it's actually going to start moving into things that are difficult for him. The reason this man is so lucky, if you look at his chart, his Jupiter in his chart, which is expansive and lucky, and it was always known as the great beneficent. He's got that trine his sun, his sun, his north node, what he's here to do in life. I mean, it's just. I just saw it yesterday, day before. That's a transit chart. 19th of November. Stuff's gonna be happening to Trump. I mean, I don't expect you to be able to see the whole thing, the details, but yeah, stuff's gonna be happening to Trump astrologically. And his chart, which I cannot find quickly, is I'm trying to remember right off the top of my head, but it's not here. Okay, well, I'll have to find it. Oh, I'm gonna sort out that. All right. Okay. Basically, trust me, trust Andre from Astrology Alert, trust him more than you trust me, and when it comes to astrology, and yeah, his Trump in his own chart, he has Jupiter protecting him, but Jupiter in the sky transiting has been protecting him here for quite a while. So November 19th, he loses Jupiter in the sky protecting him, and end of December 28th. Tuesday, December 28th, Jupiter's going to go into Pisces, which is what happened. That happened back in May, somewhere around there, May, June. It was in Pisces briefly. While it was in Pisces, Weisselberg was arrested, and all of that happened. And then Jupiter backed up, and everything went quiet. Well, Jupiter's moving back into Pisces December 28th. So from November 19th to December 28th, and just after December 28th, this may get interesting. Okay. Thanksgiving in the U.S. is on the 25th, Thursday the 25th this year. And ding, there's a firm trial date on the 29th for Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh, I'm glad, DTN. Andre really is amazing. Firm date, a trial date for Ghislaine Maxwell at the Manhattan Federal Court. The judge is Allison Nathan. So that is, 4 weeks from today. Whew. So that's what's happening in November. All right. So we've got a lunar eclipse. We have Donald Trump starting to feel some pain, or rather losing protection from the universe. My birthday. And going to be on Johnny's channel twice. Daylight savings ends and Ghislaine Maxwell. All right, so that is going to be November. It's a lot. I know it's a lot, but that's kind of what's going on. I hope that helps. Yep, buckle your seatbelts. Don says a Ghislaine. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, she's a ghoul. She's absolutely a ghoul. Ghislaine. Yeah. Okie doke. Matter of fact, I've got a note right here to look at her chart on the transit chart for her on the start of her court date. See what that looks like. So, all right, we've gone through that. It is 1830. Okay. So, when is my birthday? This Saturday, the 6th. Mel's saying my oldest turns 18 on the 6th. Aw. And my baby turns 15 on the 29th. Oh, congratulations and happy birthday to my fellow November 6er. Zeta. I want to ask you, her page isn't suspended. I watched her earlier. They're trying to stop her PayPal. Oh, Linda G is having trouble. Is it Twitter or PayPal or, oh goodness. The fools. Who would you attack? Oh my gosh. Oh, you go after Linda G. Don't do it. Really, don't do it. It's not going to end well for you. She doesn't have to do anything. She has a massive entourage of spiritual beings who help her. Like, the ones I could make out was like an Indian tribe, a Native American tribe. I should have said Native American tribe, and they had a statue that they were bringing along with them. There's a statue of a young Native American woman, kind of kneeling, sitting back on her heels, with the truck, and they're just following back at the back of the entourage for Linda G. When she came through, it was like, I could just see it in my mind's eye. It was just like right there, and then it went off. I think I was reading with Sheila at the time. Yeah, I think Linda G came on here that one time when Sheila was on, and Sheila and I were looking at each other like, okay, that's a thing. So, wow. Whew. So, yeah, I'm not worried about Linda G. No. Desert Dawn says, given your look yesterday, you could go with a flapper look so easily. Oh, thank you, Jay Ralfords. Thank you. Okay. Steve says, I get so many headlines from her. Well, Kristen is amazing. Our Kristen here is amazing. She's done Uncover the News. She's just done so much to help. The goodness of her heart, just I'm so grateful. Thank you, Kristen. And when I say our, I don't mean like we own her. I'm saying she helps. And so we're grateful. That's all. Okay. So Trump.org. Trump.org is accused of a major insurance scam. I'm shocked. Two former insiders tell Rolling Stone that Trump's team attempted to turn a storm into a massive payday. Basically, there was a flood, I think at Bedminster somewhere. Wherever it was. There was a flood at his property because of a storm. They told the insurance company there was $1.5 million worth of damage. They spent like $200,000 to fix it. Pocketed the rest. That's illegal. It's called insurance fraud. Thank you, Marby. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. That's illegal. So the question is, will Donald Trump and his, Grift Co. face prison time for this sort of major storm-based insurance scam that would put most people in prison? It's insurance fraud. That's what's being alleged here. That is illegal. Everybody is supposed, I know, I'm naive, supposed to be equal under the law. I know. Oh, there are all kinds of legal things coming against Trump. Well, it'd be nice if some of them actually started arriving. So I'm just waiting for the 19th. Autumn says, heaps with her eyes. Thank you. Joel Lee says, if he's done this once, he's done it many times before. On the nose. Exactly. Thank you, Scotia, sweetie. Yeah, any of you can arrive anytime now. I'll give you directions. Do you need directions? Do you need cab fare? I will give you cab fare. Uber fare? I'll cover it. That's fine. I'll cover it. What do you need? Do you need a plane ticket? I will dig into my savings. I will empty my savings. Do you want to go business class? Let me know. Let me know. FBI or anybody. law enforcement actually arriving to actually hold Trump's accountable. You let me know. I'll buy you lunch. Do you need lunch on the way? If you're hungry, we'd all chip in. I think we'd all chip in. Am I wrong? Wouldn't we all chip in? Aw, Susan saying my orange and white kitty Jamie says hello. Hello, Jamie. Hello, good kitty. Hermit. 3 of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. 8 of Cups. 3 of Swords. It looks like he's in trouble. Memories of Echo says, I want lunch. And with my Cancer moon, if you were anywhere near me, you'd be having lunch. MKelpie, of course, whatever it takes. Kendall is bringing up about Roger Stone running for governor against DeSantis. Oh, it's on the list. It's on the list of questions. We'll get there. Sure, says Apple. Yeah. They were trying to get away with things. Okay, there's this. We could just say this, and then we get this money. And look, we got away with it. Yeah, but there's evidence, and there's legal pain right there. All right, what does the legal pain look like? Because insurance fraud, especially for hundreds of thousands of dollars, this isn't like, oh, it's like $500 worth of damage and we only ended up spending like $400. That's a whole different class of, that's not the issue. Because the other thing this brings up is the valuation of the property. That is going to be an issue. Because in him saying that them saying there was $1.5 million worth of damage, what was damaged? You're saying this piece of your property was worth $1.5 million? And now you're trying to say the whole thing's worth $1.5 million when the assessor says it's $15 million? Really? Yes, MKelpie, over 1 million scammed. Yes. G. Robert says, I missed something. We're reading on Donald Trump and Grift Co., his company. They basically, it was insurance fraud. They pocketed hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars for damage they said that they incurred from a storm. And they just pocketed all that money. It's insurance fraud. It's illegal. Anyway. So it says here that there's going to be some legal heartache, but what is going to happen to, as Sienna calls it, Trump and the Trumplings? Apple says, so the insurance company just paid it out. Who owns them? MKelpie says, and that's just one scam. Join Grift Co. It is Grift Co. Yeah. Scotia Sweetie, Grift Tower, Grift Steaks, Grift Water. Yes, very much so. Aw. He's gonna blow his top because he's being held to account. He's used to just bullying people. You just get so upset in their face, sue them, pretend to sue them, whatever, and you just push, and people get tired, and they're just like, fine, whatever, just get out. It's not going to happen here. 2 of Swords. That is a legal decision. These 2 cards came out together. That is justice and going to prison. These 2 cards came out together. Center of the reading. It's kind of working. There's the Devil. And it ends with the Merchant. Oh, look how much money we have. Look how big our company is. It's based on fraud. And this is one of many, 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 many scams. the people are going to go to prison for this fraud or fraud like it. Is it actually going to be actual? Are their last names going to be Trump? Yes, Holly in France. Grifter's gonna grift. Yep. Thank you for being here. I hate to look at this stuff by myself. It's just frustrating. It's good to know that eventually things will get better, but at the same time, it's like, but then you guys tell jokes and what have you, and it helps a lot. Thank you, Fire Sky. Thank you. Thank you. Dave says, if Trump ever did anything legitimately, it was by accident. Lots of things coming to light. Yeah. Is anyone whose last name is Trump actually going to go to prison over these horrible things? All right. Happy family, Ace of Cups. Knight of Swords. That is aggressive law enforcement. That is the victory card and the King of Swords. They're going to make arguments about it's, political witch hunts. It may empower the right to a certain extent when Trump is finally held accountable for things. Empower the fascists a little. But they're hemmed in between aggressive law enforcement in the beginning and prosecutors at the end. And it's a slap in the face. The fact that these people, I'm sorry, I'm ranting. The fact that these people are still walking around is a slap in the face to every single law-abiding person in this country. I've never committed insurance fraud. I haven't. Fire Sky says, I might have to send you money every time you say someone's going to go to jail. I'm hoping people are going to go to jail. Apple says, some days I get so mad. We've seen so many crimes before our eyes. Yeah. And this is hard. It's hard to get through this. Where was that? Charles Bartholomew was saying, we share in your frustrations. Yeah. So we're in this together. We'll get through it together. And this whole, the far right, coddle the far right so they don't get more extreme, or, we have to go easy so they don't get too upset. Forget that. No. One thing the far right absolutely understands is swift, sure power. They understand that. When the mob was when they first crossed the grounds onto the Capitol building, the grounds of the Capitol building, they were waiting just outside the grounds. And when the first few people crossed over, the others just stood there and just watched them. And some people were saying, don't do it, you're going to get shot. And nothing happened. So the rest of them were like, oh, go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward. They understand and they respect strong authority. They do. So anyway, memories of echoes. Girl, you ain't never lied. Thank you. That is very much what I want to be able to say all the time. Everything I'm doing here, I believe in. Everything I'm saying here, I believe in. Calvi, it's true. Lindsey Graham on the day of the insurrection said to the security, the Capitol Police, shoot them. We gave you guns for a reason. Yes, Kathy Anderson, don't shoot. I'm white. Bethany says that would lead to martyrs. If you jump the fence at the White House, if the dogs don't get you first, and the police will, the security there will try, if you're just one person, they'll try to swarm you and grab you and, put you in handcuffs and cart you off. If it's a group of people, you're going to be shot. If it's someone coming over with a gun, with a rifle, with something like that, they're going to be shot. And these people, I was reading an account this morning about how there were metal detectors if you wanted to go into the crowd that was listening to Trump. But there was this big pile of backpacks that were left outside of that rally. There was a big pile of backpacks just left for people who went in, and then they came back out and got their backpacks and left. It's because there were weapons in those backpacks. These people were armed. Thank you, Desert Dawn. Happy Monday, Mari. Oh, these people understand authority. They understand authority. That's what they want. They want an authoritarian system. It's like, okay, you want an authoritarian system? Well, let's look at the harder side of enforcing laws. Just enforcing the laws that exist. You threaten Congress people, it's not going to end well for you. I do not like violence at all. Self-defense, whole different matter. Whole different matter. So anyway, Scotia Sweetie says it matters for international reputation. Sorry, I was trying to figure if it was repudiation. For international reputation in politics, it matters that we can protect our government. Do you know how heartening it was to all of the people around the world who are against us that our own people were able to just overcome the Congress like that? Do you know how many foreign military were like, oh my gosh, it's that easy? Let's do that. Let's do something like that. Let's use something like that to get, I don't know, remember the 5th of November. Anyway. Okay. 38 and a bit. Merrick Garland. Since we were just talking about this, we'll have a brief look at Merrick Garland. And it will be brief because I've already ranted. Thank you, Kathy Anderson. I saw that your surgery went well. I'm so glad. I'm so glad your surgery went well and you recovered your implant thing. Oh, yay. Good. So, okay. Democratic lawmaker, who I had never heard of, I'll be honest, sorry, gives Merrick Garland an ultimatum on prosecuting Trump officials. Step it up or step out. Well, I don't know about ultimatum. Like, what could this person do? It wasn't talking about that. So, will Merrick Garland step it up or step out for weak punishments of insurrectionists? All right, Merrick. Sometimes I get cards on him that say that he's gonna redeem himself in our eyes. Yeah. But Merrick Garland. He's out of his depth. I'm sorry, he just feels like he's out of his depth. He's rising to the occasion, but he's having to kind of wind himself up in the mornings to be like, okay, he's a scholar. That's his thing. We're not the only ones frustrated. There are other people in the FBI who are frustrated. They think he's too slow, too meticulous. You're not there to make the case. You're there to send the right people to the right place to make the cases. What he does will have weight because it will be legally strong. Hello, Sheila R. Kathy Anderson, he does belong in the Supreme Court. Yeah. Insult to injury. Well, that's what's going on right now. Queen of Cups. You're part of the administration. 9 of Swords. 8 of Swords. Queen of Swords. 7 of Wands. I've got the people on the far right being on the defensive. He's part of the administration. The January 6th attack was awful. It caused a lot of, PTSD levels of fear. Being caught in the middle of a siege where people are trying to kill you, yeah, it's a little traumatic. As our esteemed veterans know. And it's kind of a puzzle. There are investigations, there is legal stuff moving forward, and it puts the far right on the defensive, but I don't want them on the defensive. If I go to the Congress right now, if I go to the Capitol building right now, and I just walked in, or I broke a window or something, and I came inside, and I was just walking around and in places I wasn't supposed to be without making any threats to anybody, they'd grab me. They'd put me in handcuffs, they'd take me down, they would book me, and they would prosecute me. Okay? So what you're doing to these other insurrectionists, what are you doing to them that is worse than what would happen to me if I just went down and did that and didn't threaten anybody, but I trespassed, but I broke government property, went into sensitive areas, all of this, okay? These people were chanting "Hang Mike Pence." These people, they were destroying government property. They were invading offices. They were doing things in the rotunda that are really disgusting. One guy's walking around carrying Nancy Pelosi's lectern. And they're going to get treated the same as that? And heaven help me if my father wasn't a carrot top redhead and my mother's family wasn't from Slovenia and Croatia. Because this would mean I would just be arrested. Heaven help me if my skin was darker. This whole thing disgusts me beyond words. So, all right, they're on the defensive. At what point does somebody start throwing the book at these people? All of them, from the lowest to the highest. And yes, it may take years in court. Then it takes years in court. Charlie C. Sage of Fire says, I keep remembering Garland did get McFay. Okay. Eight of Wands. Yeah, there were a lot of them doing a lot of stuff. Betty Harper says there is such a thing as too slow. Time limits on judgments and new elections coming up. Oh, there is definitely a thing that's too slow, but you make an example of the ones early on. People assume that the people later on will be treated the same way. You go easy on the first people you're going after. People just go, really? The best you got? Really? Lovers? Those are the cult members. Death. The cult. There's a death cult. Magician. Two of Cups. Six of... I'm just going to stop reading on this. I'm not going to read on this. I'm walking away. I'm walking away. Making me mad. Alice says, seems frustration is the word for today. Yes. Yes. I'm walking away from this topic because I'm just getting more and more frustrated. Oh boy. Diana Cache, she's sharing information from the Supreme Court today. I think, yeah, there's question number 6 today is about this. Barrett and Kavanaugh seem to be questioning the Texas solicitor rather harshly, using points from Roberts' dissent on an earlier, where he sided with the liberal justices. Yes, and Diana also brought it up earlier because here, maybe I've got it here, rather than trying to find it in the chat, which can be a daunting task. Will Kavanaugh actually stand against the Texas abortion ban if the Supreme? Okay, because we're in Ross' story. Apparently, Kavanaugh has said in the past, if the Supreme Court rules in favor of Texas, will it affect the Second Amendment? Meaning, if they... Oh, let's look at that. Let's move on to that. One frustrating thing to another. But I thought this was interesting. 4730. 4730. Because it was this idea that Kavanaugh was even saying, which is especially because there's the arguments today, but there's also the Mississippi cases coming up, and that could be a whole different ballgame. But here's the thing: if they overturn Roe versus Wade, if they go along with these really restrictive policies, fine. We'll use the exact same arguments and we'll start dismantling the Second Amendment and take away people's guns. How about that? So, is that what's going to happen? It's like, okay. Diana Cache saying they seem to be worried that this Texas procedure can be used as an end round for states to act against other constitutional rights like the Second Amendment and religious freedom. And Rudd is saying, I think the harsh questioning is just an act staged to make it appear to be fair. Could be. But so we're going to ask here, are they, Supreme Court, are they going to go along with some of these extreme rulings? They can make extreme rulings against Roe versus Wade. It's like, okay, then we'll go after the Second Amendment. While we're waiting to get more liberal justices on the court, we'll start dismantling the Second Amendment using the same arguments. How about that? I'm very feisty today. I don't mean to be feisty. I'm just frustrated with these idiots. But I liked this question. I liked this idea. I liked this as a question because it's like, you want to play? Let's play. Legally speaking. 8 of Cups. Oh, arguments laid out. Precedent arguments laid out. Okay. Kathy Anderson, hot cocoa, please. Oh, yes, please. Scotia Sweetie says legitimate emotions. True. True. 8 of Wands. Ace of Wands. Page of Wands. 2 of Cups. 3 of Pentacles. Back to the drawing board. It's not going to stand. It's not going to stand because it can be an end run. I'm getting strongly the Republicans, they're going to go back to the legal drawing board. They were trying to think of anything, anywhere they could possibly come up with. And it was like, hey, how about this one? Hey, you know, here's the message. We'll get this passed. Hey, let's do this. No. And, oh, okay. All right, it's empty. All right, let's replan. That's what that's saying. So, okay. Grandma Rose Homestead, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Okay. 52-ish. Where are we? Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz. We read on the nicest people. 52. Will Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz face serious consequences for joking about bringing explosives into the Capitol building? I don't know if you guys were able to see the originals. Dennis says, listening to the argument, it's not going well for Texas. Oh, that's a shame. 53. Where's this? Oh, I think the original quotes are here. All right, let me tell you exactly what Gaetz said and what Lauren Boebert said in response. Share. Share screen. Chrome tab. Lauren Boebert. Share. Lauren Boebert jokes about bringing explosives to the Capitol building to destroy metal detectors. Ha ha. Funny, funny. Her suggestion was in response to a speech given by Matt Gaetz on Sunday, in which he endorsed the idea of blowing up the metal detectors that were installed to stop members from bringing deadly weapons into the building. I said it, man. Is it? C4 we want to put in those metal detectors and we blow him up, Gaetz said at the rally. Boebert sent out a tweet saying, I'll bring the tannerite. Boebert, don't forget, also mysteriously tweeted out updates on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's location as the riots were occurring. We read on the nicest people. So, Beast Mrs. Oh, the daily four downvotes have arrived. Oh, yesterday I got 8 downvotes on my Halloween thing. The costume, the whole thing I did yesterday, 8 downvotes. Might be more now. It's like, no. Yes. Oh boy. So, yeah, you guys are, you're saying such great stuff in the chat. You really are. All right. So, any chance that Boebert, I'll put 3 here, and Matt Gaetz are going to be held accountable Lauren Boebert, where are you? Oh, it's like giddy. Her energy's like giddy, but more bouncy. How much attention she's getting, how much support she's getting. She's getting donations based off of this, and she's giddy, but it's kind of a bouncy, squealy kind of energy. Any chance that she could be held accountable in some way for this? Just wondering. High five. Ace of Cups. You think the devil. Two of Swords. Legal decision, could be censure, a fine. Matt Gaetz. Thank you, Julie. Yes, Betty Harper. They get repeated endlessly, and Linda G gets taken off Twitter. Jittery, Teresa Ford says. Yeah. Black Cat says, I drew the death card for Boebert. Legal or politically? Let's hope. Matt Gaetz, gonna get in trouble for talking about blowing up the metal detectors in Congress with C4. That used to be a bad thing. That's Congress. People. It's people. It's just, we talk about Congress, but it's just people. It's just a room full of people. Alicia says fines, that's all. Maybe. Let's hope, at least that much. Five of Swords. Insult to injury. After January 6th, you're joking about C4 and 10. All right, great. That's awesome. Eight of Wands and King of Wands. Oh, interesting. They won't. This is not what they're going to get in trouble for. It goes back to when the stuff comes, January 6th stuff comes down on Trump and the other legislators. It feels like the energy, it's like, oh, there's nothing, whoa, there's nothing there, whoa, and it like comes back. And I don't know, like a whale who goes up and then just falls back, and heaven help you if you're in the water, right where that whale like just went underneath you, and it feels like that's what it's doing. Yeah, it's the January 6th stuff they're going to get in trouble for. But this, okay. I'm supposed to be calming you guys down. I'm not feeling very calm myself. I'm not. I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. I'm downright annoyed. But I'm also not one of those people who thinks that we're supposed to be all shiny pennies every single day. No, we're human. It's hard to be human. It's hard to be on this plane of existence. Things are so hard. Objects. And we want justice, and we want safety, and we want people held accountable, because if they aren't held accountable, one, it's just unfair, and two, it makes it more likely things like this or worse will happen in the future, and that's unacceptable. So Scotia Sweetie says, it's so nice to have mutual understanding of these complex things happening around us. Indeed. Thank you for the venue. Oh, thank you for being here. Okay. All right, so we are at 1 hour. It's 1 hour 30. Oh, next thing was Roger Stone. So, I even phrased it as, will Roger Stone win against Ron DeSantis? News, Roger Stone threatens to run against Ron DeSantis, death sentence, over the lack of a 2020 election audit. It's like, it's not even bringing a knife to a gunfight. It's bringing a moron to a gunfight. Just a moron. Just taking this buffoon, cartoonish villain who looks like an escapee from the really minor security, low security ward of Arkham Asylum, and putting him in with the Wolverines. I don't know. So whatever these monsters are with the fangs and the snarling and the, yeah. I know that Roger Stone is supposed to be the dirty trickster, but Ron DeSantis doesn't care about if your mother dies. Think about that for a minute. It's true. I'm not making it up. I'm not being hyperbolic. No mask mandates. No way. Nowhere. Really? It's a pandemic. You're okay. All right, Roger Stone Cobblepot. So you can be the next governor of Florida? Oh, he's not getting any attention. He's not getting enough attention. Poor little Cobblepot. Oh, get the far right message out. Make myself relevant again. Yes, says no vaccines at all in Florida of any kind. There we go. 2 of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, I know I didn't really need to read on this. I mean, but it's as laughable as you'd think at first. He wouldn't have the money. He thinks he's a speaker or a bully. You are a buffoon. Establishment, well-funded governor, incumbent. Little disappointment. Little bit of fate saying, sit down. So, yeah. Poor little Cobblepot isn't going to be the next governor of Florida. Electra Storm says he has no money. He was on a plane with me. Really? On JetBlue, regular seat. Really? When was that? Oh, Thelma. Thelma's here. Thank you. The poster boy of Division Mansion is talking trash about the house. Quote, it's them, not me. Dawn Gubb in New Zealand. We have no COVID on our island yet. We still mask in public in New Zealand. It's because you're smart. So, and Fam Cooks, this is The Art of the Deal, aka there's a monster at the end of this book. Yes, absolutely. All right, 106. Oh, John Eastman. 106. What's going to happen to Trump coup lawyer John Eastman? We already know he came out with the plan about how Pence was supposed to overturn the election, and he was all mad when Pence didn't do it. And then he backtracked on saying, well, that wasn't me. That isn't what I really thought. But then he was caught on tape saying, absolutely, that's what I meant. And we've looked at him, but apparently in the news, Trump coup lawyer John Eastman has a long history of pushing wingnut causes, especially homophobia. I'm not surprised. Yes, it's just, how dare consenting adults who truly love each other, how dare they be together, have a life, raise a family, contribute to society, pay their taxes. How dare they? So John Eastman. So that's the thing, it is kind of silly. We're really nice people. I mean, you guys, and I think me in general, we're nice people. We care. We're sensitive. You know, that's why we're into this kind of thing. But these people, it's just like, is this real? I feel like in a way, this is almost like the rise of the popularity of true crime on TV. Apparently, there's a whole true crime resurgence going on, bigger than ever before, and it isn't watched by lots of different demographics. It's watched almost not exclusively, but it's watched massive majority by women, because it basically comes down to, we want to be better at recognizing the warning signs. We want to be better at just understanding what kind of world we're really living in, what not to do. And in our daily lives, we're nice people, I think. And it's just looking at these people, it's like, is this really happening? Is this... Okay, if this is the kind of people who are not only in the world, but are in charge of some things, I need to understand this. I need to... How do we stop this? How do we... I just can't look away. Oh, Dave. Okay. John Eastman. Oh, no, sorry. Sorry, Don. I agree. I agree with your comment. I didn't mean to accidentally put it on the screen. John Eastman. So what is going to... What happened to you, John Eastman? Atha says they're offended at the word nice. It's passive aggressive. There's no testosterone behind it. Why would I waste... Women have testosterone too. Why would I waste my testosterone on them? Ew. boy. Oh my gosh, Annette, thank you. Thank you. It's very kind. Thank you. Queen of Pentacles. Well, there are a lot of Republicans listening to John Eastman. Thank you, Annette. 10 of Wands. World card. 4 of Pentacles. Your arguments do not hold water. 6 of Cups. There's a new world. There's a whole generation coming up who just are not all that, not as fond of gender roles as we were when we were being brought up. I'm not saying we were huge fans. I'm just saying they're very open about it. You just talk to, I don't know, you just talk to anybody. Talk to my nephews, talk to, young people. Talk to young people. Whole different world out there. And it puts the far right on even more of a tizzy. Scotia Sweetie says, yes, all people deserve pockets. That is true. Pockets for everyone. The burden. Oh, he's carrying the burden for the far right, but that world is over. That nuclear family, binary gendered heterosexuality or death garbage is gone. Love is what matters. Kindness is what matters. Caring is what matters. Cherishing is what matters. Being able to laugh. Not threatening to take C4 into the Congress. It matters. There just isn't enough support in the long term. And he's a relic. You're a dinosaur. You are a dinosaur. And you will probably find that Trump was your asteroid. Okie dokie. 113. Where are we? Supreme Court. At, let's say 113.30 maybe. Will the Supreme Court rule favorably that, are you ready for this, that the EPA has the right to regulate greenhouse gases? Let that one wash over you for a second while I take a drink. Because someone's challenging that. So according to people bringing the suit, it's going to the Supreme Court, someone is challenging the EPA's right to regulate greenhouse gases. It's what? Okay, Chad. What does the EPA stand for? Do you know what the EPA stands for? Environmental Protection Agency. Okay. And they were set up by a wild liberal? No. Pretty sure it was set up by Nixon. Not a wild liberal. And the EPA should not have the right to regulate greenhouse gases. Because you want more storms? Because laissez-faire capitalism has done Zippo to protect our environment? Okay. Kendall Peterson says the closer Trump gets to being held accountable, the wilder the news will be. That is true. And I will be here. I hope you will be here, because I'll be here. I'll be right here. It's like, where are my cards? Where are my cards? So, have a great day, Atha. See you tomorrow. Ciao. Look, it's the environment getting some of the gunk out of the environment and clean air, and it's the environment, everybody. The thing we all have to live in. The things the kitties and puppies have to live in. 3 of Wands. Judgment. 6 of Wands. Whoops, sorry. Queen of Swords. King of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? Tell me this is a part 1. Tell me this is part 1 of this reading. There's Judgment. Look how yellow and icky that sky is. It's a gross sky. Judgment. We should have blue skies. But the far right, but also this bit of greenery. For once, it's like, well, maybe is it victory for environmentalists, which so we get blue skies, or is this just the usual far right victory? It's a little of both. This is the law stuff, but this is big corporations. Really? Are they really going to try to say the EPA can't regulate greenhouse gases? Really? Kathy Anderson says, I need chocolate. After this, I might need a drink. I don't drink. I don't know. I've made it this far without it. Hope for the future, Scotia sweetie. Oh, absolutely. And there is hope for the future. There is. I'm so sorry that I've just been so frustrated today and annoyed. If there wasn't hope for the future, I'd be despondent. There is, but it's just between here and there. I remember there was this highway in Pennsylvania years ago. We're driving across Pennsylvania. And I do not know what bright spark decided. You know how they have those machines that will cut a groove in the cement, right? It's like a saw. It's actually a saw. Just lower it down and they can, right? Well, it was fairly new road, but some bright spark had decided that they were going to cut across the road over and over and over and over. And it was a big enough cut that as you were driving along, your car would go thunk, 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 mile after mile after mile. And I was like, the person who designed this situation deserves to be tied up, put in a car, and driven up and down the road he or she created here until they beg for mercy. It seems only fair. Well, right now, we're on that road. And it does seem like mile after mile of that. It's like, oh, hold it together. Hold it together. We'll get through this. But when you're on that road and you're driving, it's like, B. Smith, northeast extension of the Pennsylvania Turnpike, that clunk clunk was the music of my childhood journeys. It probably was. B. Smith says Mars and Scorpio can rub you the wrong way. That's true. That's true. Mars did enter Scorpio yesterday? Yes, yesterday morning. Yeah. And it was the traditional ruler of Scorpio before we discovered Pluto. So it can be forceful, because Scorpios, we get intense. So it's happy there, but it's also just like, it's intense. So I guess I'm intense today. Thank you for reminding me. Lisa, is it the I-95? Is that it? Oh my gosh, is it still there? Does it still do that? Oh my gosh, that's... Hopefully, yes, it still does that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I would not wish that on my worst enemy. Oh, you poor things. Oh, prayers for people in Pennsylvania who have to go up and down that road. It is enough to make you crazy. Oh man, I'm so sorry. And I remember that. I don't live in Pennsylvania. I was born in Pennsylvania, but I haven't lived there since I was like 6 months old. Oh gosh. I was just driving through, and all these years later, it's still right there. It was Pennsylvania. I know it was Pennsylvania, and it was that road. I don't remember if it was a toll road or not. I just know that. Anyway, all right. Any more information on the greenhouse gases? Ace of Cups. It's the environment. It's the Environmental Protection Agency. They protect the environment. Look. Clean water. Clean air. Weird hands coming out of the sky saying, be nice. Three of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Higher wisdom. If the EPA is ruled against here, eventually there'll be laws that will give the EPA teeth. It's just a matter of time. The climate crisis, it's a thing. It's a thing. It really is. And I know it's been awfully dark here today, but we've covered a lot of dark topics and bad people. But we need to take this seriously. We need to take the climate crisis seriously. And be kind to each other. And work together. Yep. Okay. 1:23:30. M. Kelpie had a question about Elaine Chao. Okay. Thank you for reminding me about Mars and Scorpio. This makes so much more sense to me now. The sun is within 5 degrees of my sun. And then you get Mars entering the sign. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of Scorpio energy, too. Whew. And since the sun's on my sun in Scorpio, plus that, it's I must act. I must speak. I must. Yep. Anyway. Nanette says it's also meant to keep it's a driver alert for long straights of road. Oh boy. You could do it, I don't know, every once in a while, not it's like highway torture. All right, 125. Is anything going to come about with Elaine Chao in the Department of Transportation? Was there an underhanded reason she was appointed? Well, we know that. Trump wanted McConnell's loyalty. That's really what it was. but is she going to be accountable for anything? Anything she did? Elaine Chao, things coming to light. Many things will come to light. 5 of Cups, 10 of Cups, King of Wands, 5 of Wands, King of Cups. That's not her. Let me try again. I'm not really seeing much there. Let me focus. Where are you? Where's your energy? Elaine Chao. Elaine Chao, are you going to be held accountable for anything? Well, heaven knows you siphoned enough federal money into Kentucky unfairly. And heaven knows what else you did. The world is changing. Okay. Knight of Wands, Page of Swords, High Priestess, Knight of Swords, 8 of Cups. All right, this is some kind of law enforcement and evidence. There are some secrets there. She was just there to do the bully's bidding, and she did. There are some secrets there. It's going to come out, but it feels like it's also part of a bigger push to rid, basically trying to put in new laws that will stop corruption, anti-corruption laws. There'll be huge. There will be investigations, but it's like a part of one piece of a bigger something about anti-corruption. That's what I'm getting. It's not going to happen tomorrow, though. Chris Wickens, my birthday's coming up in 5 more days. You mean Saturday the 6th, Chris? Okay. 1:28:30. Kyle had a question. Kyle Smith was asking, will voters be all that impressed even if we do get some sort of infrastructure bill passed? Jeanette says mine is in 2. Are you November 3rd? Yepers. Chris Wickens, best day to be born. The best birthday to have. Will voters be all that impressed with whatever infrastructure, anything we get? Knight of Swords. Okay. Jeanette says, this one will be much better than the last one. Yes. Joanne says, I will be impressed. Joanne says, we are desperate. We will be impressed. Yep. Knight of Wands. The far right has been fighting it. 8 of Swords. People definitely hemmed in. 3 of Pentacles. Oh, it needed to be bipartisan. Right. Magician. Judgment. Oh, this is some fanfare. This is a ta-da! Ba-ba-bum! Dun, 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 infrastructure. It's something. Something. Now, the question is, when? That's a whole different thing. But yes, Betty Harper, once it goes through, it can be built upon. True. True. Yep. Okay. All right. T-Bird is saying, my mom's birthday was November 17th, 1921. She had 6 of us. Wow. And she used to use that scorpion tail quite liberally to keep us all in check. Man. Just when they're voting for it Tuesday. Cheryl Ward's asking, what date ends Scorpio? The sun moves into Sagittarius on the 21st of November. Just right there. At 9:34 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so at 1:32, Fire Sky had a question. How will the Charlottesville trial go? Will the citizens have any luck suing March organizers? Well, they are trying to bury them in court proceedings and lawyers' fees, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job. Hey, Cindy, 34 degrees Fahrenheit today in Calgary. Oh, wow. It is 48 degrees in Chicago. The time is 1:47 p.m. Ding. So, Charlottesville, the Tiki Torch. Remember, I made a graphic after that happened because there's always time. I will make time in my schedule to ridicule fascists. Do you guys remember the graphic I made? Basically, it was the picture of all the Tiki Torch Nazis. And I got an image of pumpkin cupcake scented candles, and I put them at the top of each of the Tiki Torches. These guys shouting, "We're manly, we're important." You're holding a Tiki Torch with a pumpkin cupcake candle on it. Sit down, Chet. 10 of Pentacles, and the world is the world that allowed you to be king of your domains. Not how things are anymore. 2 of Swords. Oh, hugs. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you. Oh, Kathy Anderson likes that. Good. Makes me happy if I can make you guys smile or laugh. Strength. Thank you, Joanne. 8 of Cups. 7 of Cups. Page of Pentacles. The other thing is they keep having to go in and defend what they were doing and being shown in these rallies over and over and over and over. Good luck with your job search. Oh, man. Employers start doing a Google search on you. Good luck. Seek help. Loser. Seek help. They made a decision, and this is a beast we're not going to just let roaming around. There's lots of evidence. and their rationale is it would be laughable if it wasn't so heinous, and it's costing them money, and they didn't have much money to begin with. So Chris Wicken says, do a 3, 2, 1 countdown to get people to hit the thumbs up. Let's see it rise. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Please hit the like button. I hope that helped. Oh, yeah, that's a point. Kathy Anderson, try to get a date, man. Oh, yeah. Katie Arbuckle saying, and tiki torches don't really scream protests or angry mob, when we know the company's primary intention is backyard barbecues. Yeah. There's always time to ridicule fascists. Words to live by. Okay. Carol Lamb had a question. 137. Michael Flynn. Oh, yeah, Michael Flynn. Okay. There's someone who is saying that Everett Stern has said that Michael Flynn has militia groups ready across the country. Really? Does Michael Flynn actually have secret militia groups across the country at the ready? Oh, yes, I understand. Jane Weiniger is saying, but what about his brother Charles? I understand. But right now we're just looking at Mike Flynn himself. Comrade Mike Flynn. So, Comrade Flynn, do you really have militias set up across the U.S.? Dude, you've got issues. Your issues have issues. Dave says fascism is unsustainable. It needs someone to fight against, and when they run out of opposition, they implode from squabbling internally. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that comes for whole regimes too. It corrupts absolutely, but it isn't sustainable. Alrighty. Michael Flynn. True. Electrostorm. How is this man not in jail yet? How is he still getting money from the military? Yeah. Well, he's definitely the wannabe militia, the weekend insurrectionists, the weekend seditionists. They're feeling on the defensive. 10 of Swords, King of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Not the most sophisticated of people, are they? 10 of... We've been stabbed in the back. We're the manly men not in tights. Not very sophisticated, not very smart. Burdened with glorious purpose. There are definitely some groups around the country, but... And I don't know what it is about me, it may be just a failing of mine, and the fact that Mars is in Scorpio, so I'm a bit feisty. But there's just something about these guys who are pushing this macho man, patriarchy stuff that just makes me just want to go as far opposite and be like, oh, whatever, man. Are your feelings hurt? And I shouldn't do that because I'm not big on sarcasm, like as a way to ridicule people or making, there's a certain point at which it's just mean spirited. But these guys are so awful. And the more that they push this He-Man white patriarchy, the more I just want to make fun of them. I just want to, just like, oh, buttons. You have buttons. You have really stupid buttons. Oh, I shouldn't push the button. I shouldn't push the button. I'm going to push the button. Oh, look how upset you are. I shouldn't push the button. I pushed the button. It didn't end well. Oh, I got to push the button again. Yeah. Oh, God. Jane Weineger, I won't repeat what you put in the chat, but Holly, howling Holly. Oh, yeah. There are crazies out there, Linda Johnson. They are, but there are always crazies out there. It's not the majority. It's a very small amount. They're just loud. Teresa Ford says, because laughing at them is the worst thing they can think of. Yeah. Actually, let me share this with you. A good friend of mine is from New Zealand. She was having a hard time in high school way back in the day. But her mother studied psychology and very in-depth, I believe had a doctorate and, all this stuff. So my friend was having trouble in school. And so her mother gave her this book, and it was about adolescent psychology. It said the weakest with young women, because this is back in the day as well. Okay, so we're not gonna. This is very gendered. But if you're being bullied, picked on by a girl, a woman, find some way to make fun of her thighs, because that's there's something about it with traditional heterosexual teenage girls that they're very sensitive about that. But the real bully that my friend was dealing with was a guy, and she had read this whole book, and she was sitting at her desk, and this guy's, like hovering. He's a big guy, and he's right there, and he's just bullying her, and he's like backlit from the windows back there. And she just read this book, and she just looked up and said, just in the middle of his rant, she just said, "Huh, I can see through your ears. I can see the light through your ears." It shut him down. Every guy in the room was just, he didn't pick on her anymore. So I don't know if that's necessarily that would necessarily work today, but it worked very well for her. And bullies, you gotta defend yourself against bullies, and these people are bullies. I don't know. I get, you get me around people like, oh gosh, the worst of these guys. And I just have this urge to dress as closely as possible like a gay man and just go up to them and tell them I'm trans or something. I mean, I just want to push their buttons. I just want to push their buttons. I shouldn't, but I want to. Because they're so awful. So anyway, that's actually going to do it for me for today. It's 2:00. Thank you for listening to me rant today. And yes, be best. Yes, free to spit. So I hope you found some humor in this today. And we're going to get through this. We really are. Yeah, so hang in there. And Stephanie Martin says he had his Achilles ear, I guess. I like that. Yes, Kathy Anderson, yeah. But Shane Weininger said, when touched on the leg by a dude, I said, ew, your nails are dirty. Cheryl Ward says, does the energy now feel more anxious than usual? Yeah, Mars and Scorpio is feisty. And I might not be the best person to have been hanging around with today because I'm feeling feisty. But Jane Weininger says, man, did that work? Yeah. Again, I don't believe in violence, but self-defense. There's a scene from an old black and white movie where a woman, she's sitting there and she's obviously really tired. She's wearing a nice dress or what have you, but she's wearing a dress. And this guy in the other seat, he leans forward and he starts running his hand up her thigh. And she's just, they're not a couple, they're not together. And he just does that. And she's got a cup of coffee here and she just picks it up and just pours it on his hand. He's like, oh, it's like self-defense. Oh, well, but anyway, I hope you have a good day. We're going to be okay. We really are. And you're not alone. We're going to get through this together. And beneath the scorpion sting, because I am a Scorpio, but beneath the scorpion sting is fixed emotions, intense feeling. So with Mars in Scorpio, there is intense feeling underneath it and sensitivity. So just understand that that's the energy that's going on, and just know we're going to get through this, and hang in there. All right. And in 2 hours, I'll be over at Book Art Media as usual doing creative sprints. It is National Novel Writing Month. Where are my papers? Yeah, it's National Novel Writing Month. And other than that, I'll be back here tomorrow. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Take care. I'll see you later, or I'll see you tomorrow.